Hey, you tourists, it's your boy Domination. It's a bit back of the base. It's gonna do Society do text, baby man. That is back. You know what it is. What it is. What it is. The only place to go get it. 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 Only place to go get it is right back of the base. The only place you ever go get it is right back of the base. And Chuck of the Deuces, how we do text, baby man. That is back. You know what it is. What it is. What it is. Real men rise up. Fake men rise down. Real women rise up. Fake women rise down. Right to right preach and preach on. In today's topic, we're going to talk about is. I want to talk about, do white people benefit off of slavery? What their ancestors did to black community. My folks. I want to talk about white privilege. Now, this might be true in some ways, but it ain't always. They do need to stop saying this white privilege. They ain't even saying this black privilege. See, this whole thing, man, it goes back what I've been just reinstated. That it started back from the Homo sapiens and Neanderthals. That's why I started all this racial tension between blacks and whites. This shit should have never gone on in this scientific racism, this artificial racism, and this minority racism. It should have never happened in the first place. And colorism and all this other stuff, it's going to take years to understand this problem. And for those who don't know what white privilege is, I'm explaining to you. White privilege is white people can afford to buy the house they own, the car they own, the rent they own. All the stuff is benefit off of white people who are non-white, who's really not whites or not with whites or against whites or part of whites or not or hate whites or not. That's white privilege. Now, I don't know too much about this, but as I'm doing research, I get why some blacks always say this, especially my folks. They always say white privilege. As black community, we got to be very careful when we talk about Caucasians. Well, we got to ask what kind of white folks were we talking about? Because there's a lot of them out here. You got Swedish, you got Turkish, you got Russian, you got Ukrainian, you got Norway, you got so many white folk, and you got Germans, you got Italians, you got Irish, you got Jewish, you got a lot of them. So we have to be very careful. And you got the rednecks. Rednecks came from how they slaved the Scotlands and Irish, one of them by the British, by the French. And watch the movie Braveheart, and you can watch that. Because I'm going to tell you something. And the only reason why they slave black people is simple. Because they think that black people are inferior. That's the only reason. And who they slave all the time? The dark-skinned dark-skinned blacks. The dark-skinned blacks. Because they think that blacks are turning black. They think that black is a sin. I had to laugh because it's really funny to me. Just like it's funny, they slaving white folk. Why are they slaving white folk? Because they could redefine what a founder means to be white. This whole thing, it should have never happened. This whole slavery shit, it should have never happened to anybody, and let alone should have never happened to my folks. And for those who some of our people think, well, black people can't be racist, I used to think that. That ain't always true. People need to look up the Mooners. Because the Mooners, not only they slave us, they slave Latinos, they slave Asians, and they even slave white folks. So they killed them off, and they got tired of them fucking with their women, and it changed the bloodline forever. See, there's a real reason why these things are going on years ago, and and things ain't never changed. It happens, it remains now. It's going to take for years. And I'm not saying we got to live in this kumbaya because other races, they ain't going to get along. That's just the way it is. Some whites and blacks, they got to give each other space if it comes to time if they want to come together or not. I might hate for what they done, but I'm not going to keep hating them for what. I hate them for what they do, not for what the fuck color they are. Just like whites need to hate for the person that how we are, not because based on goddamn color. See, you see the damn mindset that not only white folks pushing this, but how blacks pushing this. They always put a white person, a black person put among against each other. Why is that? There's a real reason behind that. It's got to be a reason because White people came from the Neanderthals, and blacks would have come from the Homo sapiens. I really do think that. And every race of humanity, again, it starts from Africa. Not every black person comes from Africa, but there are a lot of people from other races come from these colors. See, but people ain't gonna never admit this. They're not gonna talk about how it got started. Instead of talking about racism, we gotta understand why is it caused it in the first place. It should have never happened in the first place. This whole thing is just so damn stupid to me. I just fucking laugh. Like I said again, they treated race as just like a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old fight over a box of goddamn crayons. It's just like that. It's just like that. Instead of resolving and covering the crayons of coloring books together in red and blue, but they want to fight each color. One of them want to color the red, and one of them want to color the blue. I mean, it's stupid. It's just the dumbest shit I ever heard. Yeah, is white people are to blame for some of the stuff? Yeah, from their ancestors. And I'm not saying if they want to be forgive. You have to forgive yourself, man. If you can't forgive it, they understood. Just like they gotta, if they don't want to forgive us, we understood. I doubt it if whites and blacks ever gonna make peace. I doubt it, because this thing been going on a little bit too long. So we have to be very careful when we talk about white privilege, because there are people out there, we don't even know what the fuck white is. Unless we go to Europe and we go it for itself, where it started from the Caucasus Mountains, where they believe that white people come from the Caucasus Mountain, and there's a tribe over there, especially white tribes. Oh yeah, there's white tribes. There are black tribes. There are Asian tribes. There's any other tribe of other race. But we're one and the same out of one. It just, people just been broken other different groups. That's all what it is. And that's why other races have a hard time getting along, because it's the cultural differences, it's the food, it's the language, it's the way people live and talk and stuff, and it's hard to communicate and bring into to connection to the world, because we don't understand, they don't understand our world, we don't understand theirs, and just keep people separate from each other. And you wonder why there's so many race attacks that's going on and don't even understand. And I really do believe they use us as black community, and they use white folk trying to get us to fight each other. But the real enemy is the ones that pulling the goddamn fucking string to get blacks and whites fighting. See, we're not gonna get mad at that. It just put a race among to get each other. This whole black and white thing is all bullshit. Don't believe none of it. Just see people for where they are. Some work hard. You could work and afford to buy like any other race of people. See, it's just like that damn movie. At first, I found out that movie, Dear White People, it was a brother. It was a brother directed. See, all it is, that movie is about stop complaining about whites. If you watch the movie Dear White People, which is true, you can't blame them for every goddamn thing. You can blame some from the actions they do. They just had it all wrong all this time. So we have to be very careful. We have to, and I'm not saying that. Yeah, they do need to respect the black community, just like we got to respect theirs. And that's the fucking problem. White folk are Chapet. It's in the damn Bible. And blacks are the ham. But some people ain't going to believe how black people are the ham and blacks did not create a ham. That's true. That I agree. That is true. Because that's come from out of Europeans. But this is what they call black people, the ham. That's plain why we like ham so goddamn much. And I think the only reason why they slave black people, because we still from we not only that we the tribe of Ham, tribe of Shem, we still from the tribe of the people of Jacob. White folks are the Chapets, every last one of them, and they come from the Neanderthals. Same thing, black people come from the Homo erectus. See, that's what started all this whole mess in the first place. Once different species got together and started produce other different species, other different races. Every humanity not only starts from Africa, but it starts from Asia to Europe to all the way from North America to all the way from South America to North America. I mean, this whole thing, this whole thing, how it got started in the first place, it should have never happened. It should have never happened in the first place. Racism is the worst thing that ever been happening in the daily activity, daily lives. It happens, but you just have to do your research and understand why these things are happening. See, that's what people need to start asking, because I don't know if I did talk about black privilege, because black privilege is trying to win a white people's approval, have the same as rights as them. It's like a competing structure. That's all racism is about. It's about a competing between a master and a servant, who served the people and who served from the masters. That's all it is. They put whites and blacks to get them to think, oh, they're the enemy. But the ones who caused this racism stuff in the first place, who created this whole madness in the first place, whites and blacks need to get mad at that, instead of trying to blame blacks for every goddamn thing and whites blame everything. People need to stop blaming everything, period. Because the bottom line is, this whole white privilege, it's just stupid. The whole thing that you could own some just like they own some. But it's basically they trying to say black people want a handout. No, I want my own shit. I don't want nothing what they got. I get my own stuff. Because I realize they're not going to give you anything. You have to earn it to have it. You have to work hard for it. Yeah, you got racists. I don't give a fuck racists don't like me. I tell them go suck a dick, and they can't stop me for doing everything I do that I can make, with it or without that. You know, who I care? Because all they fuck up their lives, and they need to look at to blame themselves, and that could be from any other people who are racist. So we have to be very careful when we talk about white privilege, and we're not understanding, studied on white America and all the way how it really got started. Same thing when it comes to black community, how blacks have got out here. We were brought out here enslaved. But I don't see one single damn slave boat, because like that slavery shit, it's just a made up thing, what been brought up to believe. This whole bullshit was started in the goddamn first place. People can't stop me for what I want and what I want to go. I've been blessed to making YouTube videos and have a lot of subscribers. But my point is this: just give me your comment, give me your video response. What do you think white privilege is based upon to you? Do you think white people live based upon slavery, what they did to the black community, did to our people, or it's just they live to benefit off their own potential and vote for their own economic interest? So that's what this whole thing is about. And the only thing the thing is about, people don't want to vote for Obama, and black community have a problem with that. But black community do it too. There are black people who don't even vote for Obama, just as much as whites and Asian and Latinos and blacks. It's gonna be some tension on that, and a lot of that is is the black guerrilla family and the Mexican mafia, all the way from damn Mexico to North Carolina. I mean, to all the way from Mexico to California, to all the way to Texas. I mean, it's clean more. It's just the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. When you tell people lies for a long time, they're gonna start to believe it. They're gonna start to believe it. It's just like if I tell you to jump over the bridge and you gonna ask how high, you'll do it. Dumb ass you'll do it. I didn't tell you to jump over the bridge. You decided to do it. But instead of me telling you that, you decided, oh, I'm gonna jump. Why you want to jump and I just tell you? I just ask you a question. Would you do it? Because most people say hell no. But quite a few people will do it. Because why? Because some people are addition like that. So stop blaming every other race of people. People gonna be ignorant. That's just the way things are, the way things go. And that's all I gotta say about that, man. Give me your comments, give me a real response, and tell me what you think of this video and this issue. All right. It's your boy Domination. This is Back in the Base. Chuck of the Deuces. How we do text, baby. $9 back. You know what it is. And that's all the topic we're talking today. So peace, and I'm out of here. Peace, and I'm out. All right.